My name is Kraemer Kraem, and today I would like to share with you something I've been working on for 10 years. My autograph collection. 8x10 edition.
Okay, so first of all, I have Mary Ann Hagen here. She is from Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, and I got this recently from the Zombie Fright Pack. You see my last video, you saw that was one of the pulls from that video. Now next, I have the second Black Ranger, Johnny Young Bosch. I got this from MechaCon, where I found out that all the Power Rangers are going to be there, or a good majority of them. So, you know, as a kid, the Power Rangers were huge. So I definitely had to go meet the Power Rangers once I found out they were coming. Now this is Charles Martinet. He's the voice of all these characters, but mostly people know him from Mario. He was at the Lafayette, Louisiana Comic Con. It was in Lafayette. And, you know, of course, having a mustache and all types of people calling me Mario all the time, I definitely had to get him, as well as playing all those games. And in fact, I talked to him and I said, hey man, lots of people call me Mario at school or whatnot. So he gave me this autograph. He said, hey man, put it in your classroom, you know, to all my friends at Mr. Kramer's class. And I was like, nah, thanks man. And I was like, there's no way I'm putting that up. Nice gesture, but those kids would be making jokes left and right if they saw that in my class. And then right here, I got Anthony Davis. This is back whenever, you see All-Star emblem down here. This is back whenever they had the All-Star game in New Orleans and they had the jam session. And I got this signed by him and another photo as well I'll show you in a little while. Very nice guy. Very quiet. And then right here, the second Yellow Ranger, Karen Ashley. She was doing some charity work or something, and if you donated to the charity, you got an autograph, so I did. And then right here, one of my favorites as a kid, you know, Zach, the original Black Ranger, Walter Jones. He was pretty cool. He was also in MechaCon, where I believe she was at MechaCon as well. But he was my favorite as a kid. I remember having a VHS tape, and it was Zach's birthday party episode, and it was all focused on Zach, and that was my dude when I was a kid. But the best Ranger when I was a kid, Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger. He was the best. When he left the show, I kind of lost interest, to be quite honest with you, when I was a kid. You got to remember, whenever I was a kid, the Power Rangers were the biggest thing around. Now, to change gear, one of my favorite directors, Halloween, Escape from New York, The Fog, Christine. I mean, this guy made tons of great movies. John Carpenter, love him. It's kind of funny, because with him, I just sent an email to his website saying, hey, I'm a big fan. I wish y'all had signed merchandise, like a signed Blu-ray or something. I would love to buy one. And they emailed me back and said, hey, just give me your address and I'll get Mr. Carpenter to sign something and send it to you in the mail for free. And I was like, hell yeah. So that's how I got that. Shatner. Met him at a Comic-Con. I say I met him. I was scared to death. That's my favorite Star Trek captain. So we were online and I was like, hey, I heard sometimes he can be a little mean. So I don't really want to say anything to him. So I was speechless. I was like, all right, here you go. And I got his autograph. He kind of looked like my old grandpa, believe it or not, nowadays. And then right here, speaking of Escape from New York, you got Adrienne Barbeau. She was also, you know, in The Fog as well. And at the same Comic-Con in New Orleans, Barry Bostwick, you know, for my wife, you know, Damn It Misty, because he has that song Damn It Janet. And right here, we also have Judge Judy. I just sent her an email. I read somewhere that she gives out free autographs if you just like email her. So I'm all about free. So got Judge Judy. Judge Judy tells it like it is. Steve Wilkos throws chairs. Once more, heard it was free. Why the hell not? Jay Leno, definitely not my favorite Tonight Show host. But once more, it's free. Shoot him an email. Got a free autograph. All about free. Alright, this is my pride and joy right here. This little section. I call this the Kubrick collection. Who's my favorite movie director? Stanley Kubrick. This is Shelley Duvall from The Shining. I got this online. It's authenticated and whatnot. Love it. And this one, Malcolm McDowell from A Clockwork Orange. I love this movie. I talk about it all the time. He doesn't normally sign so much. It's kind of harder to get his unless you see him at a convention. But on Facebook, his agent put out a message saying that he was trying to get George A. Romero, the director of Night of the Living Dead, a store on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And if you donated money to that campaign, Malcolm McDowell will sign an autograph and send it to you. So you know I donated for that, because I love his performance in this movie. It's great. All right, got Sean Payton, you know, being around New Orleans, big Saints fan. And then my favorite Saint as a kid is definitely Joe Horn. And I love this picture because he's on his cell phone. He's known for having that touchdown celebration in which he pulled out the cell phone and called somebody up. And it's kind of funny because he had a barbecue sauce that he came out with, and he was traveling to all the different Walmarts. And if you bought the barbecue sauce, he would sign something for you. So I bought his barbecue sauce. It turned out to be actually pretty good. And he signed it. I love his autograph, too, because he even has the 87 right there. Love this picture. That was my favorite Saint growing up. Still love him. All right, and look, this is a nice one right here. Got Michael Keaton, and I have Jack Nicholson, who is, I mean, that 1989 Batman movie is part of my childhood. Love this. Got this online. It's got a little authenticity to it to prove it's real. And then at a Comic-Con in Lafayette, another childhood movie, The Terminator, I got Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese. He was a quiet guy, but very, very nice. At that same Comic-Con, Sean Astin was there. And it was kind of funny whenever we talked to him. You know, Sean Astin, he was Sam in Lord of the Rings. He was in Rudy. He was in The Goonies. And it was kind of funny when we talked to him. He's like, Justin, are we related? And I really think he was just trying to be nice to me, because I don't think I look anything like this dude. Love him, but I mean, he's not my twin. Right here, another Star Trek person is Scott Bakula. You probably know him from Quantum Leap or Enterprise. Got his online. At another Comic-Con in Lafayette, I got Ernie Hudson. He was really nice. In fact, that day I heard that he was leaving early, so we drove all the way an hour and a half in the morning to get there as soon as it opened up, and I think I was the first person at his table, and we talked to him. And look, I mean, come on, he put who you gonna call? Which, I mean, that's, you can ask for a better quote than that. At that same Comic-Con, they had this guy. You might not recognize him, obviously, because of the makeup. This is Deep Roy. He played in The Never Ending Story. He played, in fact, all of the Oompa Loompas in the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. So you definitely know him without this makeup. But obviously, I'm a big Star Trek fan. I wanted him to sign the picture, you know, as his character in Star Trek. Maybe I should have got the Oompa Loompa one, then everybody would have known what I'm talking about. But, you know me, I love my Star Trek. David Yost, the original Blue Ranger. It was kind of cool meeting him because he stayed at the same hotel where the convention was, and we stayed there as well. And I ended up running into him once or twice after meeting him, which was kind of cool just to see him out about in the, you know, just grabbing coffee or whatever. This is another one of my wife's. This right here is Diane Franklin, and she played Karen in one of our favorite 80s movies, The Last American Virgin. It's basically like American Pie, if American Pie had heart and was set in the 80s. We talked to her for a good 30 minutes. Alright, right here I have Sean Gunn, lots of women or girls know him from Gilmore Girls, but he played the on-set Rocket Raccoon in basically all of those movies, and his brother's actually the director, James Gunn. At that same Comic-Con in New Orleans, we met Luke Cage. Me and my brother talked to him for a little while. And right here we have, this is one of the first pictures that I sent out actually to get signed. I sent this to, I found out Clint Eastwood's address, and I sent him a picture, and I got this back like a week later. And I sent this one out next to Patrick Stewart. I found out Patrick Stewart was doing a play in New York, and I sent this picture. I printed it off my computer. I sent it off to him, and then I got it right back within probably a month or so. And I was ecstatic. I was like, people just sign pictures if you send it to them? And then I went online, and pretty much everywhere you look, that's how he signs his signature. It's definitely authentic. William Shatner. This is my second William Shatner photo. It's actually the first one that I got. It's the second one in the portfolio. But I heard a rumor that if you joined, this was probably about 7-8 years ago, if you joined his fan club, they sent you an autographed photo. So I did, and they sent it. The second Red Ranger, Steve Cordinas, got him as well. And I sent a different photo of Clint Eastwood, because when I think of Clint Eastwood, I think of, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly films, and also Dirty Harry. So I had to get him to sign one of each. So I sent 2 photos. This is another pride and joy. I showed you I had 2 William Shatner autographs. This is one Leonard Nimoy autograph there. Ray Park, played Darth Maul. And Big Easy Con this past year, I met Weird Al. And I asked him a few questions. I said, look, I'm a big Prince fan. Why you never did a Prince song? We kind of had a little conversation about that. And I also gave him a hard time for not having a mustache anymore because, I'm one of those guys that do have a mustache. And at the same con, I met Marina Sirtis, who, if you were a Star Trek fan in the 90s, you probably had a crush on her. And I will say, one of the highlights of my conversation with her, I got to talk to her for like at least 15 to 20 minutes. And one of the best things of that whole convention was she said that I had beautiful eyes. And that totally made my month. I have an open spot right here because one day I want to get Riker. I'm going to put Riker and Troy right next to each other since they were married in the show. Moving ahead, I got Michael Dorn. I talked to him for a good bit too because that con barely had anybody. And I talked to him about, would he want to come back as Worf one day? And he said, yeah, he would, but he knows it's out of his hands and whatnot. He was very, very nice. I talked to him. When I first went to his line, no one was there. So we just kind of talked, And we talked for so long that I looked back at me while we were talking, and all of a sudden they had about 30 people waiting for me to, move. So, really nice guy. He never tried to rush me or anything. And then right here, Brent Spiner, Data. Or people who have never ever watched Star Trek would say Data. No, it's Data, not Data. Alright, let's see who we have next. And right here, James Doohan. I bought this one online. Scotty. I wish I could get DeForest Kelly. That's like my white whale. I can never get DeForest Kelly, who played Bones, but I have Scotty here.
That was the majority of my 8x10 autographs. I also have some 11x14s. I have a lot of signed books, posters, and I'll probably be showing that in an upcoming video, maybe next week after that, as well as I have some unboxings coming up. Alright, so thank you for watching, and toodaloo!